Let's cheers it up. It's 5 o'clock somewhere, so I've got my grape sparkling water. Cheers to Kim. I know you probably have some sparkling water over there. There you go, LaCroix.
No gimlet, Kim? Come on.
They're making them right now. It's for after. I'm gonna go watch Big 12 basketball after this.
Nice.
Good choice. Good choice. Well, there's a couple of new faces in the Zoom room. Most of you I do know, but a couple of new faces. So just want to introduce myself. I'm Alison Curdt. I'm currently serving as the Vice President of the section. I've been in the section since 2007 and have made some great friendships and relationships through playing in tournaments and serving in governance. And co-hosting with me tonight is our Executive Director, Nikki Gatch. Most all of you know her as well.
Hi, everybody.
Hey. So one of the reasons why I wanted to host this happy hour is just kind of an idea that I had as I was sitting on a plane. How do we get 114 women in Southern California to connect on a deeper, more connected level so that we can engage better, we can network, we can increase participation, take over this section. And this month is the perfect month to do so because it is Women's History Month. If you look at Mackenzie's backboard there, it's March. And so we've had Women's International History Day a couple of days ago and celebrating History Month. And if you don't know, Southern California PGA is definitely a leader in terms of what PGA National does. We have done some things first and foremost that have had a trickle-down effect from west to east. We have our first female executive director, which is going into her second year. At the end of this year, we're going to have our first female president. It's only taken us 100 years to do that. We have the most amount of females on the executive board that we've ever had. And I hope and encourage you all to get more engaged in governance so that we can have more females at the executive letters. So this is fantastic for us all to join together. As I mentioned, we have a record number of women PGA professionals in our section with 114. And it's the first time ever because we were kind of stuck in the high 90s for a while. So before we get into a couple of comments that I want to make, I just want to do like a little introduction. If we can just kind of go through the Brady Bunch board is what I call it. If you just say your name, where you're affiliated with, and what your job title is, love to do just sort of a little introduction. I'm going to start with Leslie because you're right next to me on the screen.
Hi, Leslie Spalding. I was in coaching and I live in San Diego. Retired.
Thanks.
Yeah.
And then Kim.
Hi, everybody. Kim Falcone. I'm the assistant head golf professional at La Jolla Country Club. I am on our board and I'm the chair of the Women's Committee and the Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Committee.
Hey, thanks. Amberlynn.
Amberlynn Dorsey. I'm the Director of Business Development in PGA Hope for our section.
Thank you. Mackenzie.
Hey everyone, I'm Mackenzie Mack and I'm the Director of Diversity, Equity, Inclusion, and Engagement for Topgolf Callaway Brands.
Great. Junko.
Hi everyone, Junko Harkins with the PGA of America. I am your player engagement consultant, and I also support Northern California and Aloha PGA sections as well. Tidbit, this was Nikki's previous job with the PGA of America.
Ooh, future ED maybe. Is it Jong? Oh, let me unmute you.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, this is Jiang Chang. I'm living in San Clemente and working at the Randy Chang Golf School as an instructor currently. Yeah.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Alex.
I'm Alex Phillips. I'm the general manager at Teclody Canyon Golf Course down here in San Diego.
Michelle.
Hey guys, I'm the head women's golf coach at Cal State Northridge.
Jenny.
Hello, I am from LA, Los Angeles. I'm currently an assistant golf pro at Oakmont Country Club in Glendale.
Right.
Just got your membership. Congrats.
Yay.
Thank you very much. Yes.
And the junior senior is going to be hosted at your club in a couple weeks, right?
Yes, I think like first week of April or
Yep,
something.
April 1st.
I'm looking for somebody over 50. Like it's hard to
Oh,
find.
maybe you'll find a partner on this call.
Right here. Yes.
Okay.
Caitlin. Oh, I'm going to ask you to unmute.
Can you hear me?
Yes, good.
Awesome. Hi, everybody. Caitlin Ellis, first assistant at Monterey Country Club, and I coach for the Palm Desert High School girls golf team, entering my 6th season as the head coach for the Aztecs. So love it.
Great. Tatum.
Hi, I'm Tatum, and I'm the head golf professional at the Crossing Club, which is a branch of San Jose, which is like just north of San Diego.
Great. And Raina. Oh, unmute.
Man, I swear I did that before I started talking. I'm Raina Kearns. I'm one of the assistants at North Ranch Country Club in Westlake Village, and I've been there for a little bit over 3 years. And I am the secretary and communication person for our Northern Chapter section as well.
Right. And Mardell. I'm going to have you unmute. Are you there, Mardell? All right, we'll skip Mardell, and Carly just came in. So Carly, can you introduce yourself, where you work, and your role?
Hi, everybody. My name is Carly Schneider. I am at the Co Club here in Cabo San Lucas, Mexico, and I am the head professional and director of instruction.
So great. Thank you.
Thanks
so
for having
great.
me.
Yeah, so great to have you all. As we mentioned with Southern California Making History, have some interesting facts to share with some of our collective numbers in our section. So as I mentioned, 114 strong. We have 78 of those as Class A members, 21 are associates. So hopefully we can help those associates transfer into membership soon. 8 life members, 4 in reserve, and 3 retired members. Our average age of all the women is 51, with our youngest member being 24 years old and our oldest member being 78. So we have a wide spectrum of accommodations that we try to make when we run tournaments and events, and a lot of different generations to cover and support. What's really awesome about our section is the amount of leadership we have with women being head professionals and GMs. We have 3 GMs in our section. We have 10 head pros and 1 very special co-head pro, good category. We have 24 assistants and 15 that identify as teaching professionals, 7 directors of instructions, 2 directors of golf, 3 college coaches, and then the remaining in club fitting, manufacturer sales reps, media, and some different categories there. So it's pretty awesome to see the amazing leadership that we have in our section. By the way, did you all know, as I mentioned before, this is our 100th year of Southern California PGA. We are celebrating our centennial. So let's give a big cheers to that. Raise your glasses and cheers to 100 years for us all. So we have a very special logo that was created that you're going to be seeing circulating on some of our centennial apparel and towels and hats, and on scorecards, some very special awards for tournaments if you play in that using that Centennial logo. And are you all aware that the PGA of America has created a new logo and modified it to make it more modern, and they are spreading the word through some branding campaigns. So have you all seen the new modified logo? Raina, can you bring your shirt up to the screen so that we can kind of take a look at the new modern? There's the modern logo. Here's the old-fashioned logo. So it's definitely more friendly for digital use. There's been some great marketing campaigns that you'll see on TV. One that was aired during the Ryder Cup featured Michael Block, myself, and 2 East Coast pros. And they've just filmed a new commercial, which I know Raina was featured in, and one of our other professionals, Courtney, was featured in. So stay tuned to Golf Channel and some of the big tournaments to see the PGA of America branding campaign and awareness. We are going to start from the Women's Committee a old-fashioned phone tree. So one of the ways to create more engagement is for the individuals on the Women Committee to straight up call you, text you, invite you to come to events, to meetings. I realize tournaments aren't everybody's deal, so we've got a solution for that. But you're going to be hearing from someone who's close to your area in your chapter or close by, calling you up and inviting you a couple times a year to see your beautiful faces at meetings and events and education, and to just get engaged. I'd love for us to have 50 women show up at events and really just have a great presence when we're out there. So Kim Falcone, who mentioned is head of the Women's Committee, has created an awesome list of a phone tree where each of the members on the committee have about 10 or 15 women that they're going to be calling throughout the year. So please take their calls. Please get to know your phone tree coordinator, and any questions that you have, you can certainly reach out to them. Or like if you need a table to sit at, or hey, meet me and walk into this meeting with me because I don't know anybody, please do that. As I mentioned, if tournaments aren't your thing, because that's one of the big features of Southern California competitive program, is our competitive program is a leader at the national level. We have, I feel like, the most amount of women's events. We have the most amount of women competing. We were one of the first sections to ever host a section championship. And so within our competitive program, we are going to offer some opportunities to play at the tournament site, but you don't have to turn in a scorecard. You don't have to play for purse. It's an opportunity to network, to get the rest of your clubs and play without having to turn in a scorecard. There's certainly still going to be a fee to cover the golf course fees, the appetizers, the golf cart fee, and all that. But you don't have to get involved in the purse. You don't have to post the score, and you can come out and hang out with some really cool people. Kim, if I may put you on the spot, I know you're traveling and on vacation in the Midwest, but is there anything else that you'd like to say about that modification to our tournament program?
No, I just, we really want everybody to come out and get to know each other. We know not everybody wants to be playing competitive golf, but they might want to just go out and play around a golf and really get to know everybody. Those of us that have been playing in events feel like we've become a really close-knit group, but it is a small group of women still, considering we have over 100 women. So I just think it's a great way to engage our women, but also just, to make better connections with each other and feel like we've got this little community within the Southern Cal PGA.
Awesome. Thanks so much. All right. So after our first 15 minutes, we've got a fun little raffle that we're going to share some Centennial swag. So I'm going to share my screen here. I've been trying to add everybody's names into the wheel of names. So hopefully you can see that new Centennial logo in the middle. And we're going to do a little random spin here. Nikki, what's our first prize of swag that we're going to hand out?
We've got a Centennial towel. Sorry, I don't have a display.
I believe I used mine this week at our chapter event. It's super cool. And our first winner is Julia. She is coming and signing on very, very soon. So she is in the Northern chapter. She's a head pro at Santa Maria. So we will give her her prize, but raise your drinks. We'll cheers to Julia for her new Centennial swag. Make sure you stay hydrated during this call, y'all. All right, so there's a few members that I would love to highlight, an opportunity to get to know each other a little bit more. We have so many amazing members and women that are doing some really awesome things. So thank you to those that I have reached out to share a little bit about some of the cool things that you're doing. So first off, I'm going to ask Amber Lynn to talk a little bit about your new role at section headquarters and also your role with PGA Hope and how that's been going for 2024.
Sure. Yeah. So I've been at the section office since 2016, basically right out of college. And Nikki, you'll find this funny. I went through and actually counted how many titles I've had, and I've had 7. So I'm like at one per year. So I'm super excited to see which one you come up with in December. I'm just kidding.
I think we've got it nailed now. I think we've got it nailed now.
We got it now. But I started in 2016 as the receptionist and junior golf assistant, and kind of worked my way around to junior golf manager, then assistant director of the junior tour, and now I'm director of business development, PGA Hope. So I think I finally found a good place and a good home within the section after experimenting with all the positions. But overall, my job entails working with our partners, contracting our partners, making sure they're where they're supposed to be. So if you see a partner at an event, tournament, or at a meeting, please say hi. Tell them thank you for being there. One of the questions that came up at the Metro chapter meeting yesterday is, where does most of the money come from for the section? And, partners is part of that. We owe a lot of what we do to our partners. So please always thank them and say hi. The other half of my job is directing our amazing PGA Hope program. And if you haven't heard of it, it's our flagship military player development program, where we, introduce veterans and active duty service members to the game of golf. It's a free program. It's only taught by PJ members and LPJ members who are certified to teach adaptive golf, and you get reimbursed for it, and so does the facility. So it's just an amazing and fun program. We are invited to our first ever Secretary's Cup, which will be at, right before the PGA Championship in Louisville, Kentucky. And I get to take 4 of our PJ Hope graduates and our PJ coach, Tony Chavez, and play against 11 other PJ Hope teams out there, and it'll be a blast. One of my veterans is 80 years old, and he said he is very healthy and in tip-top shape. And I said, I bet you are. He's probably healthier than me because he goes and runs marathons. So he's the one that's winning at life, that's for sure.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you so much. And Amberlyn hooked me up with one of her graduates who, after going through the program, was curious about a life in golf and combining psychology within that, working with veterans and being able to teach. So the PGA Hope program is going to bring more members into our organization, but also really open up opportunities for veterans to experience life in a different way, experience golf in a different way. August 5th, Wood Ranch, a course that I work at, is going to be hosting a PGA Hope training. So if any of you are interested in going through that program, I hope to see you, host you at Wood Ranch on August 5th. So thank you so much, Amber Lynn. Next up, I'm going to ask my good friend Raina, who recently applied for the section's PGA Lead program. It's a new program for our section. I'm curious about your experience applying, and after you've had your first call, how you think this is going to help set the stage for you to become the Northern Chapter's second female president in a couple of years.
Yeah, which is a trip. I kind of forgot that was the end. I thought I was just signing up to be a secretary. So that was a pleasant surprise, but I'm super excited to embrace it. It's out of my comfort zone, but something that will only help me grow as a member and a person. So I applied for the national lead, didn't get accepted into that, but got a follow-up because I guess there was enough of us to still create some type of mentorship leadership program that Kim is helping with and leading the pack with that. And that's really exciting. We had our first call, just kind of a meet and greet, but we are going to get started at the end of this month and see where that takes us. I've never done a leadership program before, but I am excited to I think I'm a little more excited that I didn't get into the national one, and it's a little more local, a little more low key, but still able to make a difference and grow as a PGA professional and an assistant and a coworker and all that jazz. So, and still like know these people and like work with these people, play tournaments and kind of bond in that way too.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Who
It's so
said it
great.
was more? Who said it was more low key? This thing's gonna be intense.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's
You
gonna
gotta
be
get
lit.
plans.
It's up to, I know. I'll bring my little fingers and we'll have a party.
Perfect. Perfect.
That's great. Raina, it's great to see you involved at this level after taking a step away to pop out some babies recently. So we appreciate you getting back in, particularly at the governance level. Thanks for that.
Yes, and I wouldn't have done it if it wasn't for Alison always making me push myself in a good way. So thanks for being a leader yourself.
You bet, you bet. Next up, I'd love to have Leslie talk a little bit about having such a great success at San Diego State and now kind of evolving out of the coaching world and getting back into playing. You played in some really awesome events last year, some big majors, USGA senior champ. It was so great to reconnect with you during the match play last year and just to see how amazing your game is. And then you just were lights out firing it up at Montecito for the women's section champ too. But talk a little bit about those experiences coming out of college coaching and now getting back into playing.
First of all, I played on tour for 10 years. Last year was 2005, and at that time there was nothing really to play in after that. And so they've started some different tournaments. I think it was the 5th US Senior Women's Open ever. And so getting to have that as a goal again has been so invigorating for me because I love competing and I love playing like that. So it's, the first 3 days of the tournament is a total reunion, just seeing everybody again and reconnecting. And then all of a sudden I have to perform, and it's like kind of crazy to put myself into that place. But it's a lot of fun to play again. And the best thing ever is just to compete in a USGA championship again and really, is my video on?
Yes.
Sorry.
Yeah, you're good.
Okay. And just to see how I can do and feel the nerves, man. I had a 2:00 tee time on Friday of the Open, and I played well the first day. I kept moving up as scores went on starting Friday morning, and I was so nervous. Oh my gosh, it's so hard to compete again after that long not playing, like 15 years. So so it's a lot of fun just having a goal again and really putting myself in a realm like with live scoring and with, people being able to watch you a little bit differently. It's just so much fun to go back and compete and play that much golf. I mean, I played so much better at the section championship just from playing so much golf the week of the Senior Open. So that was fun.
That's awesome. Who was the biggest name that you saw or sort of fangirled over at the Senior?
I always fangirl over Joanne Carner because she's like 83 and still plays and still breaks 80. Like, she's amazing. And she walks. Like, you have to walk that thing, and it's just not that easy I'm 55, so it's not that easy. And then you take an 83-year-old. She's amazing. If you guys don't know who she is, she like has the most fair skin, and then she wears this bright red lipstick, and she has kind of orange apricot colored hair. It's kind of curly and short, and she has this gravelly old voice, and she'll be like, "Hey, what are you doing? What do you think you're doing putting like that?" Like she's just classic. So I'm still big fangirl. Annika is there. I can barely talk to her, stuff like that. So that's pretty
Very
fun.
cool. Awesome. Well, we'll be rooting for you to get back out there soon enough. Thank you so much. All right, let's cheers it again. We're going to have another spin the wheel. Nikki, what is our second Centennial swag gift?
Well, it's not Centennial, but it's a dozen Callaway golf balls. How about that?
Hey, we'll support Callaway. All right. And the lucky winner for a dozen Callaway golf balls. Amber Lynn.
Perfect. They're in her office.
Cheap postage. Cheap postage. Awesome. All right, I'd love to have Mackenzie talk a little bit about her unique role with Callaway. I heard you mention Topgolf as well, but such a unique job outside of traditional green grass, from teaching, running operations. Really love how you have kind of evolved into Callaway Golf. So I'd love to hear as you share a bit about it for the group.
Yeah, sure. So what I do is a good question, right? So every day, my job twofold. So I work internally to support our HR function in making sure we have we support belonging, that we are inclusive in our workplace, in our hiring, and building just a great culture internally. And then externally is really working on changing the narrative around golf, to support people coming and joining our industry. So changing that narrative that, one, you have to play like Annika to work in the industry. You do not. That it is for white males only, that it is not. So we do a lot of external partnerships and education just to really grow the game and then grow the industry and get more people involved in our industry so that we can have more diversity in the decision-making roles, so we can see the change that we're all fighting for and looking for and hoping for. And that only starts with the diversification of the decisions and the thought processes. And so we know that, and we strive to do that across all of our brands. And so I don't know if most of you may know or not, but Topgolf and Callaway became one about 2 years ago. So we acquired Topgolf about 2 years ago, and that came with a name change. So we're still Callaway, but the overarching umbrella is Topgolf Callaway brands. And so love being part in this new role. It was a change because I was running the first tee in Memphis and have run the first tee in Tampa, and was a full-time teacher, and was a little scared transitioning, to be honest with you, because I didn't know if any of my skills would transfer. I didn't know if I wanted to be in an office. Luckily, it happened during a time during COVID where we didn't have to be in the office, so that helped. That helped a lot, and still are hybrid, so I'm not in as much as you would think for a corporate environment. But I have learned that the skills 100% transfer, and like, as an instructor and running your own business, you run every part. And so our schedule, I tell you, as an instructor, is way crazier than what I have right now, for one. And I say that because if you're ever looking to transition or anything like that to a different role in the industry, just know that you have the skills to be successful in that. And also just our experience with the market. A lot of people that don't have that experience with the players, with the community, with the people actually playing. So we get to bring that. I bring that to the table for our team. So when we're making decisions, like, no, that's not what really happens. Like, nobody really cares about that. Or these are really the problems that we're seeing, right? This is really problems that need to be solved. So I always like to share that because it is an area where we could be a part of, and that's where we can help and change the industry from the inside. And you can make that change and leap from where you are at any point, because they're happy to have us on the team, because we truly, truly are an asset and bring a different perspective, especially now when you look at the NGF numbers and see where the growth is really coming from women, right? Women are getting more in the game. And so they need to know what we want, right? What's going to get more women? How do we get them to our certain brands and all of those? So being able to be a part of that has been a lot of fun, really. And so I still teach sometimes at clinics when asked, and I do, surprisingly, I do a lot of clinics in-house. So just supporting the women internally that want to learn the game and work at a golf company and don't know as much as they want to learn. So I do a lot of internal clinics and trainings and stuff like that. So that's been helpful as well. So if you have any questions ever about transitioning to corporate life or any of that, don't hesitate to reach out, because it is definitely doable. We have the skills, we have the knowledge to be an asset to any of the teams.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And also, there's several women on the call who are dual LPGA, PGA members, and Mackenzie is one of them as well, serving in leadership on the LPGA side as the Western Section president. So very, very busy. Thank you so much, Mackenzie. All right. Did I happen to see Julia? Did you call in from your 805 number?
I did, yes.
Yes. Hey, well, first off, congratulations, because you won the first Spin the Wheel. You are the recipient of a Southern California PGA Centennial towel. So congratulations on that.
Oh, cool. Thank you.
And thanks so much for calling in. I saw you out of the corner of my eye over at Las Robles yesterday for our chapter event, but curious if you could share a little bit of some things that have helped you being successful as a female head pro at Santa Maria Country Club. I had made a comment earlier about the amount of female GMs and head pros that we have in our section, and you are one of them as well. So I'm curious if you could share a little bit about your experience up there.
Yeah, absolutely. If you hear a little something in the background, I just picked up my son from daycare. So might have a little bit of a stop at the car situation. You might do a little bit of a crying situation. So I apologize for that. I took my role. I'm kind of like a dual director of golf head pro at my facility at Santa Maria Country Club. And prior to that, some of the things I think helped me be the pick for that position, along with keeping my position currently, is I want to say like the follow through. The smallest little thing that is to us like a detail or question or a concern that a member brings up might seem small to us, but it's probably pretty big and on their mind a lot. So I've just definitely done a good job of wanting to follow through with everything. I think we have a tendency, especially maybe on the private side, you have those members who complain about everything. You have those members who might be a little bit troublesome, but making sure that you follow through even on the smallest thing that they bring up, it can make a big difference, and it really builds those relationships and them knowing that you made it a point to take care of those things for them. So that's one big thing I think that helps build those relationships around me in that private sector for sure.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And we're appreciative of the support that you give the Northern chapter. And it's been great to see you come out and compete in some events. So that's fantastic. Thank you.
Hopefully you played well. I think Raina's on this as well. So I saw a few names out there playing yesterday.
Yeah, it was good. We were representing. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Thank you so much. Thanks for jumping on the call.
You're welcome. I appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
The next person I'd love to share a little bit about their background is Michelle, who I know she just had a child as well. So I'm sure she's got some baby duty going. We have many mothers on the call who are managing baby duty right now. But as Michelle mentioned, she's the head coach at CSUN, and we've worked together doing some teaching and boot camps, as well as supporting her team over at Wood Ranch. But Michelle, can you share a little bit about how it's been adjusting from the Met section over to Southern California and rebuilding this CSUN team?
Yeah, absolutely. So well, thank you so much for having me on here. It's great meeting all you guys and hearing your stories. And as you said, I came from the Met section a few years ago, and I had a pretty cushy job there as a teaching pro. And so, I was like a lot of things, it was pandemic, and I was at a point in my career where I felt like I kind of reached my ceiling. My bank account, I always say my bank account was very happy, but I was very unhappy in my personal life. So I had to make a decision, and the decision was to follow my now husband at the, my boyfriend at the time over to California. And so I quit my job mid-season in 2021. I packed up my car, drove across country, didn't have any family out here, no friends, and no job. So I had a very I had a very quick stint at Cal State Fullerton where I was a volunteer assistant coach. And then this job came up in December. And so I remember talking about it with my husband. I'm like, I'm never going to get this job. Why should I apply? And he was like, what's the worst that can happen? You don't get the job. So I had a few interviews and they foolishly hired me with 0 experience. I had no idea how to recruit or fundraise or any of that. So that transition has certainly been challenging, but rewarding at the same time. It's really allowed me to start, building a family, which I didn't see myself doing in my previous job. So I'm grateful for that. And it's really like what Mackenzie was saying, I didn't think any of my skills were going to be transferable besides, the golf swing and teaching. But I surprisingly found out that a lot of my skills were transferable. So that part hasn't been too challenging. But I do have to say it's really great working with young women and being in a position where I feel like I can really change lives, which I didn't feel that way previously. And so that part of my job and transition has been really rewarding. It's also great having a job where I can bring my son to practice and, bring him to meetings and things. Like he came to a meeting with me today and he's great. So I didn't have that previously either. But yeah, success, I think, my team, we've improved in the rankings, like some 45, 50 spots, which is great to see even in the last year. But yeah, success, it takes time, but, luckily I'm surrounded by great women who, are of like minds and we share the same values. So it makes my job easier. And ultimately I feel like I'm now in a position where I can teach my son, what it looks like to care for others and what it looks like to try, even if you don't succeed at the start. So the adjustment, it's been all over the place, but ultimately it's just been the most awesome thing.
Awesome. Great. Thank you so much for sharing.
Sorry about all the crying.
No need to apologize. Junko, you have a question?
I do. Sorry, I'm so not used to Zoom as much as Google Meet, but not to sound like a creeper, but Michelle, I didn't know who you were. So working for the PGA of America, I looked you up and I did see that you were at the Stanwich Club, which is awesome. I'm originally from New Jersey. And since you said you're a new mom, I don't know, hopefully your address is up to date, but I think we're local. So I also have a 1.5-year-old, so would love to connect and we could be new mom friends.
Oh, I would love it. Absolutely.
Yay, awesome. Well, on that note, cheers to that. Take another drink because we're going to do another spin the wheel. Nikki, what is our third?
We've got another Centennial towel for your golf bag.
Here we go. The lucky winner for the Centennial towel is Raina Currt. Congratulations. Woo!
Thank you.
Awesome. So hearing all these amazing different roles and challenges and many moms on the call as well, I'm reading this incredible book. Here's your March book recommendation. It's called Invisible Women. And it's a little nerdy in terms of how statistical data that guides our world actually forgets about women. And women are 88% responsible for all the unpaid caregiving work in the globe. So that means cleaning your house, taking care of children, taking care of aging parents, all of that goes unpaid. And so just know that we see you. We know that you are managing 30 million things as you're trying to raise a child and be involved and maybe show up to a tournament and fulfill all your job duties. But it's a fantastic book to learn a little bit about that and know that in Southern California, you are not invisible, that you are seen, and we are here to support you, all 114 of us. So with that being said, Nikki, do you have anything to add for our virtual happy hour?
Well, I'd just like to thank you for leading this and thank everybody for hopping on. I think this was a great turnout for our first one. So congrats to everybody on that. And I hope you can see, there you go, Carly. I hope you can see that that we're a section that's inclusive, and you know, we try to provide as many opportunities as possible for all of our members. So I would just pose a quick question, everybody. I know some of you haven't participated yet with us, and some of you have been since the beginning. But if there's anything that you feel that we're not doing that we should, we want to hear about it. So we always, you know, appreciate constructive criticism. We want to make sure that we're providing the best products and services to our members. So never hesitate to share a suggestion to me or anyone on staff.
Great. Okay, is everyone up for a group photo? If you would, put on your best smile. I'm going to do a little print screen on my computer. We're going to post this on social media, so hopefully you feel comfortable with that. Raise your drink if you feel like you want to. I'll do one with the phone, and then I'll do one with the print screen. So everyone have a good smile. And one more with my print screen. All right, great. Thank you so much for joining this virtual happy hour. Hopefully you will see these faces more and more throughout our events. Pick up that phone, answer that text when your phone tree leader calls you, and really hope to see you at some of the upcoming events. We've got a great women's competitive program. We've got those playing opportunities. We've got some awesome education that are right around the corner with our player development summit coming up next month at Coda de Casa. So we've got a good year planned of awesome ways to develop you, network with you, and get on the golf course as well. So reach out to Nikki and I, or your women's committee chairperson, Kim Falcone, and hope to see you all soon. Thanks so much for taking the time to visit tonight.
Thank
you.
you.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks,
You're
ladies.
welcome. Cheers to you. Have a good
Bye.
one.
Yeah.
Hey, Leslie,
Hey, what?
you want to play in the junior senior?
I just had foot surgery. Who asked me that?
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know that.
I asked first, by the way, Alex.
Damn it.
I want to. I just had foot surgery a week ago. So I'm out.
We're
till
gonna be
Oh,
partners
man.
in the ladies with busted foots, you and me.
we both have casts on right now.
Let's wear our cap.
I'm gonna get to be a good putter. All I can do.
You're a great
Thank
putter.
you for
too.
asking me. I really appreciate it, Alex.
I figured someone already had, but I didn't see your name. So I was like, I want to swoop in on that.
Thank you. And thank you, Allison, too.
Absolutely.
Doing
I'm
this, you guys.
behind
This
you.
was cool. It's fun to connect.
Yeah. Thanks so much. Appreciate it.
All right. Take care, guys.
Everybody, thanks for
Guys,
jumping
recover
on.
well.
Bye.